Joining me today is from Texas, from US, is Jack Munro. So, hi Jack. Jack, hi. Hi, Jack.
Thank you. That's probably the best intro I've ever been given.
Do you get time to attend lectures? And how cool are you in the college? And what's the perception of your classmates?
I mean, I talk to like one or two people per class, but then that was it. I don't tell anybody. My teachers knew, but that was because I had to skip class quite often, so I had to notify them.
I also skip my classes.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
you have a win rate of 88%. How difficult it was to stay consistent and to stay on top.
Like if you win a gold medal, you should never stay stagnant. You should still always reflect. Consistency is something that I pride myself in. Like my entire life tends to be consistent. Many players can be good, but I'm not scared of them. But a great player like intimidates your opponent. To be quite honest, content creation is like everything. Arguably easier to build a brand on through content. But yeah, there was, oh my gosh, what's the mango drink?
So ladies and gentlemen, in the world today right now, pickleball is one of the fastest growing sport, and in today's episode, in today's podcast, joining us is a special guest. He has won many APP titles to his name. Right now, he is on the #1 rank for men's doubles and mixed doubles on the APP tour. He has played over 300 career matches in pickleball, and now, right now in the 2025 season, he has a win rate of 88%. That's fantastic. Joining me today is from Texas, from US, is Jack Munro. So, hi Jack. Jack, hi. Hi Jack. So, Jack, welcome to India. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Thank you. That's probably the best intro I've ever been given. So thank you.
So, Jack, you are in Mumbai right now. How are you feeling? The Mumbai weather and everything.
Oh, dude, it's actually not as bad as I thought. Like, it's been great. The people here are fantastic. The courts, the facility, the league here, with what Global's doing, it's actually been fun. Keep in mind, I've only been here for 2 days, but I mean, it's been great. So I'm looking forward. I go back there this afternoon, and it's going to be awesome.
So have you tasted any Indian food right now? Because last week you were in Delhi.
Yeah, in Delhi, I had a bunch of Indian food. But typically I just stick to pasta. No matter where I am, I always have pasta. Pasta is like my #1 food, and I have it, like, I'm a man of systems. If you haven't seen by your research, it's just pattern system. So literally that's all I do is I'll have pasta. But yeah, there was, oh my gosh, what's the mango drink?
The mango drink. It was a mango juice or mango. It was you were eating
it. Oh my gosh. No, it was like a thicker mango drink. I had it in Texas. I had it in Austin when I went to this Indian place, and it was fantastic. But yeah.
I want to know more about your childhood. How was your childhood and the first sport that you played?
So I grew up actually playing baseball, which is rare to see a convert from baseball to pickleball. But and then I fractured my growth plate when I was 10 years old. I played baseball for around 7 years or so, and then as soon as I fractured my growth plate, stuck with pickleball, and I actually hurt my right shoulder, so that's what caused me to play lefty, and so that's actually why I play pickleball lefty, or basically with both hands. So I'm artificially ambidextrous, even though I'm naturally righty.
And you also used to play basketball as well.
Yep, played basketball through high school. That was nice. Though I wish I continued to play pickleball through high school, it was good for me socially to play high school basketball.
And Jack, something I want to know about the college level pickleball, because right now the college level pickleball has grown in US. Do you feel in other nations as well, from the college, from the schools, maybe the pickleball sport should be added?
100%, and I think that's what I'm trying to do with Longhorn Pickleball. At UT Austin, which I'm currently a student at, I try to, I'm the founder of Longhorn Pickleball over there. We founded it in 2023, and it's been amazing. The growth, it's been one of the fastest growing clubs at UT Austin every single year since, and the kids love it. Fraternities, sororities, even getting faculty involved. I have my paddles now in the co-op, which is a student store, and it's amazing. Now we're starting to see the beginning of the pipeline from collegiate to the pro side, which I think is super important. I think a lot of these athletes in college should have that pipeline to then eventually go pro, but then start in college, you know?
Mostly in US we see basketball and baseball as a sport, and then in collegiate level, coming up with a great idea. Maybe we can also see a Longhorn club founded in India soon.
Oh my gosh. If they had a collegiate tournament, I would find a way to bring our team over here, for sure.
So what was your first perception towards pickleball, your first thoughts on pickleball when you saw the sport?
I mean, first perspective was when I was 10 years old when I first picked up a paddle. And so keep in mind that was 11 years ago when none of us heard of what pickleball was or knew what it was. And so back then, stereotypical, bunch of old people over 50, 60, you know, and I'm the only one that's young, playing with these guys, a lot slower, a lot more dinking. Paddles weren't the way that they are now. And then obviously when that was my sport, when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, kids would obviously make fun of me for it. Because, you know, it's called pickleball, it's an old person sport. It makes complete sense to make fun of me for it back then. But then obviously now, those same kids that made fun of me are now calling me, saying that they're playing, asking for paddles. And so it truly does come full circle.
And asking for autographs as well.
Yeah.
So how will you introduce someone who does not know the sport pickleball in your own words if you have to introduce them?
If I were to tell somebody what pickleball is, I mean, it's probably the most easily fun sport you will play. It's basically like a smaller version of tennis with wacky rules, and it is so easy for four people who have never played anything coordinated in their life to just go on the court and have rallies and have fun, which you can't say for tennis, you can't say for badminton, you can't say for these other racket sports, but pickleball makes it so easy as well as so accessible for anybody to have fun on the court.
Absolutely, and it is also injury free as most of the pros says. So Jack, I wanted to know from you that right now in India as well, the pickleball sport is growing very rapidly. If we say about Global Sports Pickleball League, teams going through auction, the matches have been telecasted on television. So how do you see this initiative taken by Global Sports Pickleball League?
I absolutely admire it. It's exactly what India needs in order to foster more growth, and big ups Global for doing everything that they've been doing to promote the sport here, because like being able to see what they've done, like when you walk on site, there's a DJ, there's music, there's section and seating on 3 out of 4 of the sides, there's a live board. I look on YouTube, like this morning I'm watching the stream, watching singles, like it's way more professional. And the teams as well, the teams have a lot of legitimacy behind it, the owners are involved. It's a great atmosphere, so it's like it feels way more real with what Global's been able to do.
And this will also boost confidence for the Indian players playing on the Indian soil with the foreigners. So this will help them to grow in the world in the pickleball as well.
Very true. We've seen a couple Indians create a pipeline and now go play in the States, but this is actually one of the best ways for them to get their name out there, to play in these leagues in India, to then get the confidence to go overseas.
And today with us we have Jack of all trades and master of pickleball. So Jack, you do a lot of things. You are studying right now as well. You are doing a lot on social media as well. You are a content creator. You used to play so many sports. How do you balance so many things?
Oh my gosh, it's taken me like 2 years to really dial it in. And now in this month of December, I finally feel like it's starting to really be as efficient as possible, because it's like I can't be in 5 places at once. And so what I've done is I've just really, this year I focused a lot on building out a solid team, so then they are the experts and they can do what they're good at, and then I can just provide them with what I'm good at. Take for example, like I'll film the content, but I'll have an editor who edits the video, somebody who does the packaging, somebody who's if I go to the gym and work out, I have somebody who helps train me there. Stretching, I go to a stretching place or PT or whatever. And so that's helped out a lot. Just building out a team, and then now moving into 2026, building out a good team. So I've actually been reinvesting. It's like, as an individual, it feels a little bit different, but in my opinion, it's the same thing where it's like, it's a startup business. Like the first 3 to 5 years, you're not making money. So like all of the money that I'm making right now, just reinvesting it into myself one way or the other. Whether it's recovery, whether it's on court, or whether it's buying back my time. So even paying for like somebody to come clean my apartment, or to book my flights, or get like a VA, that's bought a lot of my time back. So I think building out a team is super important, and that's something that moving into 2026, I've learned to do quite well. So that's how I manage it. I'm able to basically work 40 hours a day instead of, say, 16 or whatever, because I'm able to assemble such a good team. And that's what I'm really proud of. Is like now, like emails are handled faster, DMs are handled faster. I can take care of my body more. I don't have to worry about some of the admin stuff that I used to, or some of the editing or stuff like that. So I really appreciate my team, and I hope to stay with my team for a while.
And because of your team, you are now more focused on your sport game as well. So, Jack, I wanted to know how much content creation for the sport is important to grow it.
To be quite honest, content creation is like everything. It's, in my opinion, it's equally as important, if not more important, than playing on the pro side, because you can. I think it's arguably easier to build a brand on through content, and so you see a lot of players do that now because they understand how important it is. But like, I truly think content, you can tell, like, with the amount of content that players have been putting out this year compared to past years, that they're finally starting to get the hang of it and hop on board. But I think content is the most important thing a player should really focus on, outside of, you know, their own body, say like recovery and stuff like that. If you're going to build a brand off the court and not have to worry about anything else, content's the most important thing. Because God forbid, knock on wood, if you roll your ankle, you at least have the content as a fallback plan.
Yeah. And what's your perspective on the sponsorship and brand building, especially to the pickleball players? Because many sports players struggle to get this sponsorship. So what do you think in the world of pickleball, how easy or difficult it is to get a sponsor?
I describe it as like there's three different tiers that pro players go through. There's you just grind and get free paddles. That's like tier 1. Tier 2 is you get everything paid for, but you don't get stipends. And then tier 3 is you get everything paid for plus a stipend on top. And you have to work through those ranks. But simply said, paddle endorsement in specific is the largest percentage of income for pro players. So it's very important. And paddle companies have kept up tours from going under. Like from the APP and the PPA, paddle companies are basically what fund it with, or what fund the tours with a lot of their money to pay the players, or to pay, or to like just keep costs down, say. So I mean, endorsement's the most important part, even more important than prize money for us players, because that's what allows us to travel. That being said, compared to other sports, take for example tennis or something, just by sheer numbers, it's a lot easier to go pro in pickleball, just because there's less.
So Jack, especially about 2025, this season, you have a win rate of 88%. How difficult it was to stay consistent and to stay on top?
Oh my gosh, it took a lot of watching film with other players, a lot of watching film of myself, which I think a lot of people kind of forget about. But yeah, it's always asking questions, having a growth mindset. I think that's the most important thing. Like if you win a gold medal, you should never stay stagnant. You should still always reflect. And obviously if you don't do well, then it's easier to reflect because you learn more when you lose. But that being said, consistency is something that I pride myself in. Like my entire life tends to be consistent. And I think that's one of the most important parts of what's allowed me to remain at the top for the time that I have. And hopefully in the near future, and hopefully in the future as well. But that being said, like I was able to commit to one men's doubles partner and one mixed partner for most of the year, and was able to just grow with them. And so we went through everything together, the highs and lows together, and learned a lot about each other. That being said, I did do like one-off tournaments here and there with players, but you know, compared to most other pros who are switching partners every 2 to 3 tournaments, I stuck with one and decided to grow with them.
That's great. So Jack, wanted to know more about your partners, whether it be on the men's double, Will or Megan, something about them, how's the relation on the court and off the court, and how you build the sport with them.
Yeah, so I'd say Megan is the most impactful player on the APP Tour. On the court and off the court, business or just the social side, Megan is the most impactful player. And I would say that I've seen that firsthand with what she's been able to provide. I mean, even look at what she's doing with Global. Or she helps, wherever she gets dragged and dropped into, she just makes it bloom. And so I'd say Megan has also been a big mentor for me, not only to teach me things on the court, how I play, how I take care of my body, but also off the court. Some stuff as simple as like, okay, how do I do a visa? Or how do I travel and get through customs? Or how do I just do all of this. Like when we were in Vietnam, like she helped me navigate everything there. So, I mean, Megan has been super helpful for me. Also helped giving me some business advice here and there. So Megan's kind of like like my pickleball mom on tour, and she's been. I think Megan's the most important person on the APP tour because of everything that she's provided for us players and brands. Will, on the other hand, is kind of like my bigger brother. A little bit gives it to me straight, like constructive criticism, very more hype, more energy. Still gives me, still gives me very good insight. But he's definitely like that bigger brother. Like will kind of push me around, and then I obviously push back, but in a good way.
And what do you think is the line or the points that differentiate a player from being great and good? What's the line between them?
Personally, like, at least like when I'm playing players, it's like how scared am I of you, or how afraid am I to play my normal game? It's like how uncomfortable you make your opponent. I know, so like when obviously the more comfortable I am, the less scared I am of you. So that's obviously like, many players can be good, but I'm not scared of them. But a great player like intimidates your opponent, where like you second guess a standard or a typical shot that you're gonna hit. In terms of like the other sides, I'd definitely say it's work ethic. Like if you're watching film for 3 hours every day, you're just naturally going to be great compared to if you're just slacking off or staying up late or doing whatever. So I think those are some of the polls that define a good versus great player.
And how do you celebrate after winning a tournament? Is it a favorite meal, or how do you celebrate it?
It's more lukewarm than you expect. I think like I just randomly celebrate things here and there. Like I celebrated my 10K subscribers on YouTube when I was closer to like 12K. But even like on the pro side of things, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like when I've landed big deals or big wins, like sometimes I just don't party. Like for example, APP Newport was like my first, last year was my first gold medal with Megan Fudge. And I remember like I'm walking off the court, talking to people, doing interviews, like taking photos, but then I literally walk to the parking lot, get in my car, go to In-N-Out, and then I just like eat in the parking lot. And I just like do that alone. Like I'm completely comfortable being alone. Yeah, so I think it's tough because like when the bar's high and then you just hit the bar, you kind of feel like it's the expectation at points. So sometimes it's tough to celebrate that, but I'm getting much better at it.
And if you were not a sports player, what would the alternate profession be?
Oh my. I mean, we talked a little bit about photography.
Yeah.
I like photography, car photography. But that being said, I was going to UT Austin to be an investment banker and then be in private equity. So that was my end goal there. Obviously, that never came to fruition because of pickleball, which I'm super happy it didn't because I'd be miserable. But that would probably be something, that'd probably realistically be what I do. I love architecture, I love cars, I love like marine biology, but that's like never something I'd pursue as a career.
And what was the turning point of your career, and when did you switch and you knew that this is the time that I will play pickleball professionally and as a whole-time career?
So I never, to be quite honest, it's been recent that I've thought about dropping out of school for it. I've been a professional pickleball player while also being in school, but truly being 100% devoted to pickleball without the worry of handling anything school related has been a pretty new thought. In terms of being a professional, I'd probably say 2 years or so I've been playing on tour, but in terms of like truly this being a career, I'd say it's more recent. Like it came up this year. As soon as my success with Will and Megan came to fruition, that's when it was like, okay, how realistic is it to keep these results? How realistic is it to keep these sponsors and gain more sponsors or to make better content? And just hit a stable baseline where I don't have to worry about putting food on the table.
And something I want to know about University of Texas. Do you get time to attend lectures? And how cool are you in the college? And what's the perception of your classmates? Because it is like the Jack Munro is here. So how is the perception of them?
Really good question. So I used to go to classes, and I was like, I'm very under the radar. So like, I mean, I talked to like 1 or 2 people per class, but then that was it. Like, I don't tell anybody. My teachers knew, but that was because I had to skip class quite often, so I had to notify them.
I also skip my classes.
Yes,
So,
exactly. So, yeah, but outside of that, like it's Longhorn Pickleball that gives me a lot of the clout, is because like I run Longhorn Pickleball, obviously, because I founded it, and then we compete with Longhorn Pickleball. We're the national champions, on the Duper Collegiate national champions, as well as the runner-up on the APP Collegiate tournament, or Collegiate Nationals. And then I run a bunch of stuff with Longhorn Pickleball. So if you're a member in Longhorn Pickleball, it means you're probably familiar with pickleball in general. And I run the live balls, the social nights, the Duper nights for all that, and that's when that's when I get to mess around and have a lot of fun with my peers.
and what are your short-term and long-term goals with Longhorn as well as your personal professional career?
Short term is to fully finalize my team. So I'm currently swapping over a few things with my content. So coming 2026, hopefully Jan 1, I'll like that'll be sorted, trial period ended, and I'll be able to just be cranking out better content. Better content's a long goal. I know it's like or a long-term goal. I know it's pretty generic, but I have some metrics I do want to hit. But that being said, fully on board my another short-term goal is fully on board my EA, so then I'm able to free up a lot of the time, which is what we've discussed. I think that's super important. And then long-term is stay in the sport. It's once again a little bit generic or like generalized, but remain relevant in the sport. So whether that's through gold medals, whether that's through content, whether that's through coaching or Longhorn Pickleball, it's just like be a pioneer in something. Pioneers, I've done a lot of searching, and I think pioneer is like the best word to describe me. So it's like just remain a pioneer. That's like my long-term goal.
And who do you look up to as an idol?
In sports in general, I'd say Steph Curry, because he's a family man. He's also respectable. He lets his game do the talking rather than like chirping or smack talking back. Really respect that. Same with like a Derek Jeter. Like once again, like really good family man, really good human. I think I always look up to people who are good humans, and then they let their game do the talking, because that's kind of what I do. Like I like, sure, sometimes I get energetic, but I'm never disrespectful. And I think you win or lose with class. You don't lose and not tap paddles. You don't hook somebody knowingly on a line call because you're trying to win. And that's where some other people who you may look up to will look up to the wrong people and then kind of pursue the win at all costs type mentality or something like that. But I tend to look at a lot of people who are good humans and have a family and care about the class of their brand.
And do you get time to watch any other sport rather than pickleball?
Nah, dude, my life is pickleball. So literally, like, I live and breathe pickleball. That's like everything to me. And on my extra time, people ask me all the time, like, what do you do on your extra time? It's literally do something regarding pickleball. I know, like, and I haven't gotten burnout from it. So I think as long as it's fun and like activating my brain in some unique way, then like I won't have burnout.
And before concluding the interview, I just want to get 2 messages from you. One special message for all the athletes who are trying to be big in the pickleball, and second message for the content creators, one of like me. How will you give these 2 special messages to us?
Oh my gosh. So for people trying to come up in the sport, I'd say something that like I've really embodied is just the word pioneer, like vanguard. Just create some new niche that isn't there yet. Like for example, when I started 3 years ago, like or so on my Instagram, I was the first player to post. I like recorded pro matches, like my matches, and then just clipped the best clips, posted them on Instagram, but actually like created some sort of story off of that like 10-second clip. You can see some of them that I've pinned on my Instagram. And then like people kept following, and now you see people posting clips or highlights with text on it like all over. I'd say there's so many different things to pioneer in the sport. So I'd say find whatever you're good at. Like if you're good at teaching in a funny manner, then obviously then go on Instagram or create content in a funny manner. Like don't try to be someone else. In terms of creating content, I'd say it's volume. That's still like something. I think the first like 1 or 2 years, maybe even 3 to be quite honest, should be focused on quantity. So like put out as many reels as possible, as many pieces of content as possible, and then eventually you'll shift over towards quality. But I think you start with quantity and then shift over to quality. That's like something that I found.
Thank you, Jack, for joining us, and I wish you all the best for both of your personal and professional life. So the guys, ladies and gentlemen, this was Jack Munro, one of the best athlete right now leading in pickleball with more than 20 medals, and he has won over 200 matches in his career. We wish him best of luck. Thank you, Jack.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.